Another beautiful day, and why the only how is in the now has really to do with understanding what is the how does this happen, how does it work, how is the mind's main question, the ordinary mind's main question, wondering how, and implied as if it will all work out. Whatever it is that is desired, that is wished for, that is wanted, that is projected, or that is not. Because this is the realm of duality. And so every light has a shadow. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's only that it tends to lose sight of what the source of the light and the shadow is, which is within, and which is this beautiful mystery pulsing through every breath. A mystery and a paradox, because it is the most intimate and personal and yet impersonal presence that you can feel in every moment as you breathe. And so in every moment, we are in the now, and the more we come home to this now, the less the how, the ordinary mind's how, excuse me, the less the ordinary mind's how is going to disrupt the flow of magic that you are a channel for and a beloved home of. Because that's what we are as divine beings, as the divine creator of ourselves, and as ourselves, the creature of the divine creator, which is a holy union, right? Something that had been spoken to in terms of I and my Father are one, and I am another you, namaste. And in Lakesh, I might be confusing some of these translations. They basically boil down to seeing the divine within each one. And the first place to go is within. Because if you don't see it, and to see is to know, is to feel, is to be, is to do, if you don't see it in yourself, you cannot truly see it in the other. Though you may see the refraction and be lit by that and inspired by it. And when we speak in terms of light, we're also, it could be the echoes and the sounds and the notes and the beautiful melody of the divine. Beautiful, beautiful melody of the divine. So the how of the ordinary mind is rooted in anxiety, in doubt, in disbelief, and anchored within what we could call a limited Newtonian view of separation and of physical mechanics, where objects seem to be entirely distinct and separate and alienated from each other, and so they bump into each other, and oftentimes that hurts. We don't want to hurt, so we then develop strategies to avoid discomfort, which is perfectly natural. And this desire to avoid discomfort is also a desire to feel safe. And so the great context here, my friends, about safety is not only understanding but seeing and feeling and being and doing, that the only safe haven is truly in the now, where vigilance would abide, and a calm vigilance. And so that is also a synonym for coherency. And so in the now, through each breath, you can come to witness that this world is indeed made up of different levels or dimensions, and that you are fully partaking of that. And so yes, you have this, I have this physical body, right? That is breathing. And that requires tender, loving care. And the physical body, of course, has the sensations, and then we have feelings and emotions, and then we have thoughts and imaginations. And then there's something beyond the thoughts and the imaginations, which could be called the higher mind. And thus we go through the different levels, the different densities of our bodies, from the most dense of the physical body to the most rarefied. And what we realize, for example, you have the physical, the emotional, the mental body, and you realize that all of these bodies, they're like the Russian dolls, right? And so it gets bigger and bigger in a way, and that the mental body connects with the physical body through the feeling body, or the head connects with the gut through the heart. And the beauty of aligning these different centers that we call coherency or calm vigilance, which allows us to be more present here now, wherever we might be, whatever we might be doing, then can bring more clarity and inner peace to the head mind, and give us a glimpse, or maybe even more, of what is vaster. What is vaster than our thoughts, than our beliefs, but the sky that holds them, the emptiness that is the true nature of mind, within which passes the clouds that we call thoughts, as in metaphors, right? And the spaciousness of this inner sky is then capable of holding, and does hold, our best dreams, our most beautiful visions and desires. And if you're like me, for a long time I felt such a distance between this beautiful, spacious inner cosmos, sky, and my little physical body and all of its needs and everything that was in between the two. The feelings and the thoughts were basically a lot of flotsam and jetsam accumulated as time accumulates things and memories and past experiences from just being here, living. And so our ancestors, and then our own life. And oftentimes what happens is that buffer zone between the physical and the imaginal, and the beauty and the light of everything that we can behold within and create and yearn for has disbelief and tumultuous frequencies that limit and that resist our good. And so the invitation here, and the reason for this, is to show you that, in fact, you can really stop resisting your good. And how do you do that? How do you relax? Because in order to feel safe, in order for all of this good to come through you and to you, you have to relax. And that doesn't mean go limp. No, it doesn't mean that. It means that you actually find the ground of your being, which is within you, which is in your core, which is in your perineum, in your umbilical region, in your lower dantian, in the soles of your feet. And you find the very top of your being, at the very top of the head, the highest chakra. It's called the fontanelle. And these are embodied metaphors as well. And to connect them is so easy through the breath. And the way you do that is by breathing through the heart. And imagining that you have an opening here within your heart that pulses and that breathes and that dilates and then, closes, so to speak. It's massaging, it's pulsing, it's carrying this beautiful in and out. Like if God were making love to you through your heart, which it is, which you are, which I am, which is what we are. And I call this the blissful breath. Some call it the rhythmic breath. The good news is that it's in every moment. So it's not dependent on any kind of external factors. The only requirement is that you attend. It's this basic attendance of the blissful breath. And then from this blissful breath, my friends, we infuse all of our neurology. Imagine oh goodness, imagine the incredible network and tree-likeness, arborescence of your subtle channels and nerves and the circulatory system and the nadis and all of these things, and you can infuse all of that. Because that's what you do every time you breathe. You can bless. Every breath can be a blessing for all of your cells, right? This is so beautiful. And then so what happens as this is more and more infused and imbibed and celebrated, and it behooves no one but you to do it. And that's the best news as well. You don't need anyone else to, not anymore that we need each other in terms of our camaraderie, of the goodness of being together on this planet, that it's not just a planet with one person on it like in The Little Prince, but it's a community, it's a fellowship, it's a beautiful family of humanity, and then of all the other creatures that live here, like our dogs, and the birds, and our cats, and all of the beautiful garden creatures, and the insects, and on and on and on and on, right? On this beautiful planet we call Mother Earth. So as we infuse this beautiful inner nature, inner ecosystem, inner planet of our being with each breath, with each blissful breath, just basically surrendering to this natural process, what's going to happen is we're going to feel more and more safe. And then what's going to happen within this sense of relaxing and capacity to just chill and to open, is we're going to see those things that resist, that have been perhaps traumatized in the past, or have gotten stuck in experiences of the past that imprinted themselves upon the neurology as gotta grip, gotta hang on, can't let go. It's not true. It's not safe. These Newtonian, dare I say, sorts of attitudes and frequencies, right? And then the thing is that you can see them and feel them too, and with so much compassion and clarity and the courage required, which is simply of meeting the other, the so-called other, the so-called unknown, only it's not unknown because it's all you and it's all I, it's all one thing, to then see it and alchemize it. And how do you alchemize it? How do you transmute it? How do you transform it? Through your blissful breath and the desire, the acknowledgement of the desire to live in a state of connection, of awe, of gratitude, of creatorship, and of calling in whatever it is you wish for. What do you wish for? What is your best dream? This is such a beautiful question. What is your best dream? Go ahead, write it down, or just imagine it and notice notice what might come up in the, I don't know what to call it, that intermediary zone where the resistances show up. They show up in the feeling and in the thinking bands, and they block that light, that beautiful light, from coming down all the way into the flesh. And of course the flesh may be as well participating in resistance, and the flesh basically does whatever you really direct it to do. So that's the best news, because you can really assume the mastery of yourself within yourself with your beautiful physical body, so that, like an animal is perhaps scared, well, you calm it down, you give it love, It's that easy. Or simple and immediate and at your fingertips. It's not anywhere far away from your capacity, whoever you are and however you are. So the main thread, the core, the quintessence of this message is that the presence that we naturally attend to as we sink into our blissful breath is going to bring the how of the dual mind back into the now, where it basically cancels itself out, and whatever is required, intuition will provide. And intuition, of course, encompasses the whole being, so it will also make use of the head brain to direct and to orient and to learn and to remember and all this other good stuff, without it being a grip, without it being out of anxiety, out of whatever. Fear is usually at the core, at grounding and holding and gripping what then emerges as a thought or as a belief. Yes, so the invitation is to celebrate each breath, each blissful breath, and have that inner carrier wave that you are surfing on in an ocean of love and tenderness that will not hurt you. It cannot, because it is you. How could your own breathing hurt you when you are present with it? It only becomes destructive when you forget about it. And yes, we know that a lot of ailments are caused by stress, which is a retraction of attention, and thus of consciousness, and thus of basic attendance, which turns into breathing, which is not optimal. But blissful breathing is optimal, and it adapts to every moment in whatever way is best. And it clears and cleans the mind, and it soothes the senses and the emotions, and it alights from within all of the subtle channels of the tiniest nerves and capillaries and fascia with this beautiful animating principle we call God or Spirit or Soul or whatever you want to call it, the Tao, yeah, Christ consciousness, whatever you want to call it. Love, it's love, it's love. And you know what? It is what you are. It is what I am. And that is the best news, my friends. So we'll take it from there. I look forward to hearing from you. Bye-bye.